Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me add to the chorus of those who have already said thank you for this very important hearing. It's thank you and Mr. Rangel. I want to also thank Mr. Rangel. I had asked that, and I will ask that we submit testimony by way of an article from T. Boone Pickens in Forbes magazine entitled "Oil and Natural Gas as Weapons of War." I have become a big fan of T. Boone and part of the Pickens army that believes that natural gas, and he's been saying this for more than 7 years now, holds the future for this country, and it's abundant, American, and it's ours. But it seems to me, in light of what's happening in the Crimea, and his article addresses this, is that we're putting the cart before the horse, and that the focus needs to be on making sure that we're doing everything that we can here in America first. We should help America first. You heard from my colleague from Wisconsin and Massachusetts about the severity of the winter, but Boone Pickens would go right down the line and talk about for every diesel that we change, and we get to, and we convert and incentivize through this tax code to be driven by natural gas, is the equivalent of taking more than 300 cars off of the road. That helps us in terms of carbon production. It also helps us in terms of sending a strong message to the rest of the world. An LNG facility, at best, you're talking about 2 years down the road, and even the current ones that are in process, in order for us to have an impact on the situation in the Crimea or foreign policy, however plausible that might be and laudable is as a long-term goal, the short-term goal is to get the policy right here at home. We haven't done that through successive administrations. It was George W. Bush who said that we had this crisis and that we were going to tackle it. We have bills currently before us that the President has in his proposal to address natural gas, to incentivize the building of these heavy-duty trucks, to incentivize the pipeline experience. We live in an area of the world where the Algonquin line needs to be expanded and made more efficient so that New England can get the resources that it needs. However, that requires an investment in infrastructure. But we're in a Congress where no one believes in infrastructure investment, where it costs money. Well, all of this, by the way, costs money. Now, Mr. Pickens says, I'll tell you what, you incentivize people to build the trucks, you incentivize the municipalities to be able to purchase them, and then you're right, Mr. Kelly, the private sector will help expand and build those pipelines, and the government should make sure that they're safe and secure and do it in the best possible way. But I'm interested in what you would think of Mr. Pickens' analysis of all of this, and I'll start with Mr. Weiss.
From my view, I have not seen Mr. Pickens' analysis, but from my view, as Mr. Kelly said, if you would like to punch Russia in the nose, then the fastest, cheapest way to do that would be to help Ukraine, which is the second most energy wasteful country in the world, only after Uzbekistan, help them become much more efficient. We've already got a program there that's worked. Let's just invest more in it. The less gas they have to buy from Russia, the less leverage Russia has over them. And you can wait for 3 years for an LNG terminal to be ready, and then you're going to have to force the company not to sell their gas to South Korea or India, which is where the contracts are for now. Or we can go into Ukraine right now and help them make their buildings more efficient, make their factories more efficient, make their pipes more efficient, saving them money, creating jobs there, creating jobs here because they're going to use American equipment here, like made by Honeywell and other American companies. And that is how you punch Russia in the nose, is reduce the demand for Russian gas rather than wait 3 years to try and increase a competitor's supply.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hawley?
Thank you. I wanted to address your concerns about taking care of home. And this, again, is from a local perspective, but I think one of the speakers or one of your panels said that this has happened in 5 years. It's a revolution, and it is. And it's happened so quickly that all of us are scrambling to put the infrastructure in place to accommodate it. And let me just give you an example just with our port. We are converting major ship docks to ocean-going barge docks. We are doing everything we can to lobby to deepen the intercoastal, because that's how we get natural gas and oil to the East Coast. You're a huge market. The East Coast is an enormous market for us, but we don't have the infrastructure in place. So we have reformatted our entire ship channel to be able to accommodate getting that product to the places where it needs to go. Our pipelines have been reversed. They were going one way, now they're going another way. Again, all of that infrastructure piece is critical to being able to, it's a logistics problem, being able to get that stuff to where
We're all for infrastructure, you know, and
Absolutely.
to make that investment and to, because that puts the country back to work.
But identifying where those pieces have to be put in place, that's the key to being able to distribute the natural gas or the product where it needs to go. Thanks.
Agreed.